Prostitution. Hey, it's been around for a long time, but how about legalized prostitution? Well, that takes us to this week's case. It involves a case that was filed in California in 2015, and it's winding its way through the courts. The case seeks to find that prostitution is protected under the U.S. Constitution and the Constitution for the state of California. The state of California is named as a defendant, as are several California counties, Northern California counties. Basically, the arguments are twofold. One, the argument is that prostitution involves fundamental sexual conduct, which is fundamentally protected by the Constitution. It's a natural activity that is fundamentally protected by the Constitution. On the other side of that argument is the counties in the state are all saying, wait a second, where are you guys coming from? It's been outlawed in California for a long period of time. Since 1872, there have been laws against prostitution in California. You can't say that this is an inherent right that's been around for a long period of time, protected by the law. Guys on the other side say, wait a second, that activity of prostitution actually predated the Constitution. It's a fundamental right, and it was a right that is protected when the Constitution was written. Folks on the other side say, hang on a second, that's not what the Founding Fathers had in mind. There is no precedent for this whatsoever. Well, in short, you get the gist of this argument. Second argument is that it's a freedom of speech. The majority of laws against prostitution basically deal with pandering, meaning that you can't solicit prostitution. You can't go up to somebody and say, hey, how would you like to have a good time tonight? That is the way in which the majority of prostitution laws are written. It's not the act of prostitution, exchanging money for sex, it's the pandering, the actual suggestion, the solicitation that is viewed as illegal. So the argument is that that is a ban on free speech, because people have a right to sell various wares and products and services, and they have a right to engage in offering prostitution. Well, these are the arguments, and they are going forward. Now, in much of the country, prostitution is illegal, as we're all well aware. The only place it's legal is in certain counties in Nevada. There are counties in Nevada where it's not legal. The majority of the country is obviously a country that embraces laws against prostitution, either as a result of solicitation or the actual act of prostitution. In much of the world, however, prostitution is legal. It's legal in Mexico, it's legal throughout Latin America, it's legal throughout Europe. There's a lot of thought that constitutionally the United States may recognize prostitution if our mores continue to change. We all agree that our sexual mores today are much different than they were 20 years ago. But will there be a radical change? Will there be an embracing of this? Well, interestingly, in San Francisco County in 2008, there was a referendum on the ballot to legalize prostitution in the county. 58% of the voters voted against it. 58% voted against it. Across the bay in Oakland, a similar referendum was on the ballot, and it lost also. So if we see one of the most liberal enclaves in the country rejecting legalized prostitution, it's unlikely that we're going to see an embrace of it by the country as a whole. And generally, interestingly enough, you will see the law following basically the mores of people. And we many times see that. We've discussed that previously on these video blogs, and it's something that does happen. But here, are we going to see the mores of the country move significantly and allowing the legalization of prostitution? Well, I guess we're all going to have to wait and see. I'm David Allen. We bring you this as we bring you cases every week so you understand how the law works.